So, you're getting close to 50? That's a huge milestone, and honestly, it's the perfect time to really get your financial house in order. We're going to walk through a simple framework to help you do exactly that. But look, I want to be super clear about something. This is a guide, okay? It's a set of milestones to aim for, not some pass-fail test. So if you're not quite there yet, do not sweat it. Just use this as your roadmap for what to focus on next.
You know, this age is such an interesting balancing act. On one hand, you're probably in your prime earning years, making more than you ever have before. But on the other hand, it can be your prime spending years too, right? Maybe you're helping kids through college or looking out for aging parents, all while trying to save for your own future. It's a lot. And that's exactly why now is the perfect time to just pause and take stock of where you really stand.
So, to make this whole thing feel a lot more manageable, we've broken these 7 goals down into 3 core pillars. First, we're going to talk about how to secure your financial foundation. Then, we'll dive into how to build your wealth engine. And finally, we'll cover how to protect your long-term future. Simple as that. Okay, let's start with pillar number 1, securing your financial foundation. Think about it like building a house. You wouldn't start putting up walls before you've poured a solid, unbreakable concrete foundation, right? It's the same with your money. Before you can really focus on growth, you have to know that you're protected from any of life's unexpected curveballs. And that leads us straight to our very first goal, building a cash buffer. This is your financial first aid kit. It's your emergency fund. It is the absolute first line of defense when things go wrong. A job loss, a medical emergency, you name it. So what are we aiming for here? The magic number is 3 to 6 months of your essential living expenses saved up in cash. Now, why is this so critical? Well, sure, it's practical. It means you don't have to raid your retirement accounts and get hit with penalties if something goes wrong. But honestly, it's also psychological. This buffer buys you peace of mind. It gives you the breathing room to make smart decisions in a crisis, not desperate ones. And please, don't just let this money sit under a mattress. The absolute best place for it is a high-yield savings account. Right now, these accounts are paying crazy good interest rates, sometimes as high as 4.5% or even 5%. This means your emergency fund isn't just sitting there losing its buying power to inflation. Nope, it's actually working for you while it waits. Okay, our second goal under this foundation pillar is a big one. You've got to eliminate consumer debt. We are talking about that high interest stuff, like credit cards. It is almost impossible to build serious wealth when you're paying 20% or more in interest. Seriously, just picture it like a heavy anchor dragging your financial progress down every single month. And let's just bust a huge myth right here, right now. You've probably heard someone say that carrying a small balance on your credit card is good for your credit score. That is absolutely 100% false. The truth? It costs you a ton of money in interest, and it can actually hurt your credit score by messing with your credit utilization ratio. By age 50, the goal is simple: zero consumer debt, period. All right, with that foundation poured and solid, we can start building up. And that brings us to pillar 2. Building your wealth engine. This is the exciting part. This is all about making your money start working for you in a really smart, strategic way. I absolutely love this quote from Peter Campbell. It just perfectly captures the huge mindset shift that has to happen around this time in your life. The days of, just YOLOing your money into the latest hot tech stock because you saw it on the internet, yeah, those days are over. It's time for a mature, data-backed approach. So what does a sound strategy even look like? Well, it's really built on a few key principles. You want to focus on simple, low-cost funds because fees will eat away at your returns. You've got to prioritize tax efficiency, using accounts like your 401k and IRAs to your full advantage. You need broad diversification. That's just a fancy way of saying don't put all your eggs in one basket. And honestly, the easiest way to do all of this is with tools like index funds and ETFs. Okay, you want a concrete target? Here it is. By age 50, a fantastic goal is to have about 7 times your annual income saved and invested. So let's make that real. If you make $100,000 a year, you're aiming for an investment portfolio of around $700,000. And this, right here, just shows you the incredible power of starting early and staying consistent. So how in the world do you get to that 7 times income number? Well, the engine that drives you there is aiming to save and invest 15% of your gross, that's your pre-tax, income. That brings us to our final pillar. Number 3, protect your long-term future. So you've built the foundation. You've got the wealth engine humming along.
Now what? Well, now we have to make sure that everything you've worked so hard for is properly protected and set up for your family and your legacy. First up, estate planning. I know, it sounds super complicated and maybe a little morbid, but it breaks down into a few really simple steps. You need a will or a trust. You need to legally appoint people to make financial and healthcare decisions for you if you can't. You have to check the beneficiaries on all your accounts. It's so easy to forget those. And most important, this is not a set it and forget it thing. Life changes, so you should review your whole plan every 5 years or so. The other side of the protection coin is insurance. And look, life insurance at this stage isn't some complex investment vehicle. Its purpose is super simple. Income replacement. If you're not around, it replaces your paycheck for your family. For most people, a basic low-cost term life policy is all you need to cover debts, future goals like college, and your lost earnings. It's that straightforward. Now, here is a reality for so many people around this age. You might find yourself a member of the sandwich generation. You're literally sandwiched between caring for aging parents and still supporting your own children. This creates some really unique financial and emotional pressures that you absolutely need to plan for, not just react to when they happen.
And that leads directly to our next goal. You have to have the money conversation. I know. Talking about money with family can be, well, weird. It's awkward, but it is so, so important. You need to gently start to understand your parents' financial picture to prepare for the future. And at the exact same time, it's the perfect moment to talk openly with your own kids, setting them up with smart financial habits for life.
Okay, so after all this, the saving, the investing, the planning, we get to the final and maybe the biggest goal of all. It's not just about hitting numbers on a spreadsheet. You got to ask yourself, what's my destination? What kind of life am I actually trying to build? And that's where this last goal comes in. You need a financial plan. A plan isn't some rigid, dusty binder that sits on a shelf. It's a living guide. It's your GPS. It's the tool that helps you make great decisions with your money today so you can actually build the life you really want tomorrow. It's all about taking control instead of just crossing your fingers and hoping for the best. Ultimately, every single one of these goals is about putting you in the driver's seat of your financial life. They give you a framework, foundation, growth, and protection to make sure you're on the best possible path. Your future is still unwritten, so the only question left is, what's your first move?